Friday night. Something tells me we got a few more of these coming up by the time we hit the holiday season in the new year. It's Matt McCarthy in for Joe tonight, and here's the deal. We're only on until 6:30 because we've got Celtics-Lakers starting a half hour earlier tonight. It's an Amazon Prime game, and Amazon Prime thought they were getting a prime matchup. I mean, what more could you want? You get the Celtics, you get the Lakers. Celtics playing good basketball right now. Lakers second place in the West. You know, these are the types of Friday nights you live for as a sports fan, right? And then we remember it's the NBA and nobody takes the regular season seriously in the NBA, and LeBron's not going to play and Luka's not going to play. Hell, even Marcus Smart's not going to play tonight. And there you go. So all the buzz taken out of this one. I wanted to open Celtics-Lakers. I wanted to talk about this game for the next 30 minutes, and instead the NBA has insisted to me that the game does not matter, so I will also say the game doesn't matter. Because it is what it is. What a joke. Kind of an unserious league, if you ask me, insulting to the fans. I mean, if you have tickets for this tonight, you've been robbed. You've been robbed by the NBA. You've been robbed by the way that league operates. And I'm sorry for you. I feel badly for you. I think this is consumer fraud. The NBA is consumer fraud. Oh, not to mention, too, by the way, that the league is riddled with gambling scandals and nothing's on the up and up. So there you go. Thoughts on the NBA at 617-779-0985. Instead, we had to pivot tonight because, well, it's Celtics-Lakers, except not anymore. So let's talk about something that actually is going to happen, which is my sport, baseball. Winter meetings beginning this weekend, and we are entering what should be the biggest week of the baseball offseason. By this time next Friday, you and I and everybody else will have a much better idea about what direction the Red Sox are heading in. We're getting a lot of reporting today. Feels like there's a lot of activity picking up around baseball ahead of the opening of the winter meetings on Sunday. Things really generally go down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, generally in the evenings. That's when stuff happens at the winter meetings. But the buildup is happening. The reporting is out there. The chatter is going, and the rumor mill is flying, and it feels like we will have a busy winter meetings, which baseball has struggled with in recent years. But it feels like this at least set of winter meetings is building towards something, and it feels like the Red Sox are building towards something. And they did do a little something last night, which on the face of it is kind of a nothing deal. It's not something that you're going to get too excited about, and I can hear Red Sox fans already starting to mock the team for the move they made last night. Oh, you traded kind of an prospect for a kind of run-of-the-mill big league pitcher, and it is what it is. Frankly, that deal is one team that needs outfield help taking a chance on an outfielder, and another team that loves projectable big arm pitchers taking a chance on a projectable big arm pitcher. That being said, that's not necessarily what last night's trade is all about. I think it is a sign of bigger things to come for the Red Sox, and I'll explain. Again, Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray tonight, 617-779-0985. On the face of it, just the actual trade itself, I like it. Give me a pitcher 9 times out of 10 over a hitter. I just believe in that. I think the password is a much better nickname than he is a baseball player. Elite nickname, not an elite prospect. Way too much swing and miss. Red Sox have a million outfielders. I'm fine with it. It's a good trade. It's nothing special, but I'll take it. The guy they got, Johan Oviedo, 27-year-old righty, starter. He's coming off Tommy John because they love guys who come off Tommy John. Oh, they're all about it. Looked pretty good in his 8 starts since coming off the injury last year. He's had a fine career, big arm, some potential, walks a ton of guys. Fine. Take a swing on him. That's the trade. That's not the important thing, though. The actual trade is not the important thing here. It's what this trade signals for the Red Sox moving forward. And I think it's a sign of bigger things to come. That should be your takeaway from the move last night. Don't focus on the move itself. It is a sign of bigger things to come for the Red Sox as they enter the most important week of the baseball offseason. Go back to what Craig Breslow said a few weeks ago, and this is something we focused on a lot as fans, that he feels good about the pitching depth in the organization. He feels good about starters 3 through 10. He says they're in good shape, and I would agree with that. Yet, the only moves he's made so far has been adding 2 starters 3 through 10. or 3 through 12 now that you've gotten Sonny Gray and you got the righty from Pittsburgh last night. So what gives? I think a lot of fans are pointing at this and saying the Red Sox are selling us a bill of goods again. They're trying to sell us a load of crap. They're being cheap. They're just trying to get our hopes up before they do nothing, before they dash our hopes all over again. And if you feel that way, I understand why you feel that way, given the way they've operated for a number of years now. I get it. I understand it. I probably can't change your mind on that. Only the Red Sox can change your mind on that, and you are justified in feeling that way. But I'm telling you, last night's move is indicative of bigger moves to come. Because what the Red Sox are doing now is they are adding more pitching depth because in the next week, they're about to start unloading it. Breslow says we're good, pitchers 3 through 10, goes and adds 2 more pitchers of that type, and you say, how many of these guys can you have? The answer is, some of them are going. Maybe not the guys you just traded for. I'll be curious. The kid from Pittsburgh last night, he might get moved in another deal. He might not be here next year. We'll see about that. Sonny Gray will be here next year. But the reason the Red Sox are doing this is because they are about to start unloading some of their pitchers via trade. Their pathway to big offseason moves is trading, and trading from their pitching depth. And it seems to me that that's what they're going to do. That's what the last week has indicated to me. What the Sonny Gray and the Oviedo trades have done for the Red Sox, it has made their pitchers more expendable. Peyton Tolley, more expendable now. Connor Learley, more expendable. Some of their prospects, Luis Perales, Kyson Witherspoon, who they drafted last year, more expendable. The Hunter Dobbins and the Cutter Crawfords of the world, more expendable now. The Red Sox can afford to start dealing these guys away, and all of those guys have some type of value because pitching is currency in baseball. You want to make a trade? You better have a pitcher to offer, which is why the Red Sox have made trades for 2 pitchers in the last week and a half. And it is obvious to me that the Red Sox' best path to improving this team this offseason is via the trade. We're going to focus on free agency. We all focus on free agency. Oh, Bregman's out there, Schwarber, Alonso. And that's, of course, going to be a lot of the discussion over the course of the next week. But we know that ownership does not want to spend like the Blue Jays. They've made that clear. Sean McAdams reporting last week that the Red Sox are only interested in taking a moderate financial loss by going slightly into the luxury tax, which we all know is ridiculous. It's a lie. The Red Sox make money hand over fist. If they spend a little bit more money on this team, they're still going to make money. We all get that. They don't want to spend like the Dodgers. They don't even want to spend like the Blue Jays. And that sucks. And I hate it. And you hate it. And we all hate it. And I get it. That being said, with the limitations that ownership is placing on the front office, and I think we fully expect that ownership will place those financial limitations on the front office, that does not mean that Breslow can't improve this team. Just because they don't want to spend $300 million on this roster does not mean that they can't improve this team, and that is where Craig Breslow needs to get involved in the trade market. You can put together, and I want to make this very clear, you can put together a World Series quality roster within John Henry's financial limits. The limits shouldn't exist. We don't want them to exist. It's a load of crap that they exist. Nobody wants that. All right? But it is what it is. So do not excuse baseball operations for not getting it done, because you can get it done. We've heard pretty consistently, and Jeff Passan reported again today, that the Red Sox want to spend on one big bat. We all say spend it on 2. They need 2 big bats. They're going to spend it on 1. You can trade for the other. You can trade for the other. You can acquire cost-controlled players in baseball via trade. If you have something to deal, and if you have pitching to deal, which is what the Red Sox are building up to try and execute and try and do this offseason. We'll see if Craig Breslow can actually get it done. I think he's interested. I think he was interested in making something happen at the deadline, and he did not do that. But to me, it's pretty obvious that is what the plan is. You can get cost-controlled impact players via trade. You just better have something to trade, and they do in pitching. They have a surplus of it. They have a surplus of outfielders, a surplus of young pitchers. They have the ammo. They can get it done. And that needs to be the tone we need to have with the Red Sox for the next week. It might not be the big-time free agent spending that you think they should be involved in, and we all think they should be involved in. There might just be one of those guys, and they might get the third of the group, the cheapest of the group. That's probably how they're going to approach it. I don't like it, but it is what it is. They can still improve this team. Anything less than building a World Series quality roster over the course of the next week is unacceptable. And I'm telling you, last night's trade is a sign of how they plan about going to do it. It's going to be via trade, and it's time to get dealing. That's been my sense for certainly the last 24 hours, really going back to the Gray trade last week. They're building up a stockpile of pitching so they can move some of their young pitchers in a trade, or two, or three. And that sense, that feeling is now being supported by some of the reporting coming out ahead of the winter meetings, which begin this weekend, which gets us to a tweet from Buster Olney just a few minutes ago. And this is good news for the Red Sox. Executives report a ton of trade talk going on right now, with some front office types saying teams are more open, more willing than in recent years to discuss a range of players. He goes on to identify Mackenzie Gore, left-handed pitcher from Washington, as potentially one of the targets that will get moved over the course of the next week. That is somebody the Red Sox absolutely, I would imagine, would be in on. Former Red Sox executive Paul Taboni is now the GM in Washington. So if that is the case, if Olney's reporting is true, and I have to imagine that it is, this is somebody who's an insider, he talks to everybody, and his sense is that there's more trade discussion and trade activity going on around baseball than there has been in recent years. That is shaping up beautifully for the Red Sox. They are better positioned than most to make multiple impact trades over the course of the next week. They have the pitching, they have Duran and Abreu, who... I think one is certainly gone, maybe both. I would not be surprised if both are gone. Passan pegged both of them as a 50-50 chance that they get traded. Red Sox should be very active, and if they are not very active via trade, and I'm telling you it's going to be via trade, then we'll crush them next week. But I'm telling you this is the way it's shaping up. Focus on the free agents all you want. It's going to be the trade market. The trade market, the trade market, the trade market over the next week for the Red Sox. And they better build a World Series contender because they have the ammo. They have what it takes. Let's just see if they have the ability to execute. Because you can do that in the first luxury tax. They can do that within the confines of the competitive balance tax in Major League Baseball, which still remains one of the great farces in sports. 617-779-0985. We'll get to more of the reporting from Jeff Passan, from Buster Olney today. Ken Rosenthal with reporting tying the Red Sox to Bo Bichette. So a lot of reporting coming out ahead of the winter meetings. We'll do that. And yes, we will get you game ready for what should be a very riveting matchup between the Celtics and the Lakers and LeBron. Oh, wait, he's not playing. And Luke, oh, no, he's not playing either. Welcome to the NBA. We continue. It's Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
do and what we'll do over the course of the offseason is take a step back and really recognize what type of potential pitching additions or acquisitions really move the needle for us, because we do have, what I would suggest is a strong group of pitching depth. And so we want to make sure that any additions that we make actually improve our team. And, I think you can say, hey, we've got to add someone at the front of the rotation, or, if there was significantly less depth, we need to just amass depth because of the things like injury and attrition that wear that down. Where we don't want to find ourselves is having to address both. And I don't think that's the case right now.
Spent the whole offseason talking about the depth that he has, basically acknowledging that they have enough depth. When he spent the last week adding more depth, you say, well, what is this? Is it just the Red Sox throwing a whole bunch of crap against the wall to see what sticks and not adding real players? Or is it a precursor to something bigger? And my sense is these two pitching moves the Red Sox have made over the course of the last week and a half is a precursor to something bigger. They will be involved, active in the trade market. Reporting coming out tonight that the trade market is expected to be very active, more active than it's been in years, and that's how the Red Sox are going to stay within the financial confines and constraints that John Henry has put on this team. So that's where we're at. It's Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray, 617-779-0985. Just some of the reporting to get to ahead of the meetings before we get to you. Jeff Passan saying today that Kyle Schwarber is expected to sign first of the big bats, probably looking for a 5-year deal, so that'd take him up to 37 years old. Passan also saying what's clear is that there's a group of teams that are willing to spend on a big bat. He lists the Phillies, Blue Jays, and Red Sox as the three teams looking the most to spend on a big bat. Now, I would say that's going to be one big bat, not two, and we'll see if the Red Sox can add a second big bat via trade. Ken Rosenthal saying tonight that the Sox view Bo Bichette as an Alex Bregman alternative. That feels like just talk to me. And Passan also noting, and it should come as no surprise, that the Red Sox are listening on outfielders. They have outfielders to deal. They traded one last night, and a guy who is not going to play here in the password. So Jarren Duran or Wilyer Abreu, one of the two, probably gone. I would not complain if both were gone, to be totally honest. To you at 617-779-0985. Anthony in Winchester. I mean, this is the Joe Murray Show, so I would be remiss if I didn't reference that D'Agostino's is the best, Anthony.
Dags is very good. Hey, Matt, how you doing?
What's up, man?
So you struck a tone with me on the ticket issue up front. I don't know what can be done. I think this whole thing is ridiculous in terms of this dynamic pricing. Obviously, you pay very different prices for a Celtics-Lakers game than you would for a Celtics-Wizards. But I almost bought tickets because I wanted to see potentially LeBron's last game in town and see Luka. And I think prices to get in were at least $500 or $600 a seat. But, I guess it's sort of buyer beware on sort of a back-to-back night, and you just never know. But I think something needs to be done about this. Generally, I don't know what the solution is, but this seems crazy. If you buy a ticket for $600 and a lot of people are sitting out.
Anthony, I couldn't agree more. It's consumer fraud. The NBA has become consumer fraud, and that's what tonight is. By the way, I don't know if it's only if anybody else didn't notice the irony of a guy from Winchester calling in and talking about the prices of tickets. I mean, I did spend some time there, so I mean, I know what's up, I would say, in that regard. But no, you couldn't be more right, Anthony. You couldn't be more right. Imagine spending that type of money thinking you're coming to LeBron's final game. LeBron puts up, how many points did he put up last night, guys? It was under 10 for the first time since 2007.
It was 8 points last night. Game-winning assists, though.
So he has his worst offensive night in basically 20 years and says, I'm good. I'm not playing. Well, he's got arthritis and sciatica, they say. He's not playing. Luka's not playing. So you just paid Celtics-Lakers prices on a Friday night. You want to be there because it's a big night, and those are. I mean, no matter whether the Celtics and the Lakers are good or bad and anything in between, they come to town once a year. It's a big deal, and the Celtics are playing good basketball right now, and the Lakers are the second seed in the Western Conference, and you think you're getting something, and you get something completely different. And it happens every single night in the NBA. Every single night. It happened last night in Washington. By the way, I am so glad that we live in 2025. I mean, the miracles of modern medicine. Jaylen Brown was on his deathbed last night. I don't know if you heard. He was so sick. He's got this illness, and all of a sudden, miraculously, better tonight, and he's playing. I mean, thank God. I don't know what they did. I don't know if that's Western medicine. I don't know if that's Eastern medicine. But the Washington flu has all of a sudden left Jaylen Brown's body, and he's going to be a real warrior tonight. He's going to go out there and play. This is the modern day NBA, and it sucks. It sucks as a fan. It sucks as a media member. It sucks if you're paying to get in tonight. It sucks, period. I was really looking forward to coming in and talking about this game for 30 minutes before the game. I mean, we'll be on after the game. Hopefully it ends up being a good product, but it's not going to be the product that you expected to get. And this is not some type of one-off. This happens every single night around the league. Anywhere you look, there are star players sitting out because they don't care. The league doesn't care, and they don't care about you. It is as insulting to the fans as I think anything going on in sports right now, the way the NBA approaches its regular season product. And they can gimmick it up all they want with the NBA Cup and the in-season tournament, which was interesting for about 1 year, and now it's a complete farce. Who gives a crap? They changed the court and everything, and it's just not good for the fans. It's not good for the fans. And you're the ones getting the real short end of the stick tonight. And I don't know how else to say it other than I'm bummed out as a fan. I'm bummed out for people who were going to this game, who probably paid premium prices or, planned your night around seeing LeBron and seeing Luka and seeing Celtics-Lakers, and you're going to get something less than. And I'm telling you, there's nothing worse in sports than when a league insults their fans with the product that they put on the court, the field, the ice, whatever it is. Whether it be a pace of play problems in baseball a few years ago, the NFL not being serious about officiating, or the NBA not being serious at all about the regular season. It's tough. So you deserve better. If you're going to this game tonight, I hope you get a good one because you deserve it. Grandy and Max coming your way next. Celtics, Lakers, no LeBron, no Luka. We'll be on after the game to talk about it. See ya.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5, the Sports Hub. This is Shaw's and Star Market Celtics Tonight. Download the Star Market Deals and Delivery app today.
Jaylen, right-hand dribble into the paint, goes to Derek White, who steps back into the corner for three. Moving and grooving.
The Celtics are brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks, Amica Insurance, your New England Honda dealers, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
Jaylen forces it up over C. No! He tied it! He did it! Jaylen Brown from the corner with 5.6 to go. Kick out, open, Tatum steps to his left, three in the air, got it!
Big boy, step up at the right time, man.
And by Delta Dental of Massachusetts, Brex, your New England Chevy dealers, Town Fair Tire, and by Comcast Business.
Pritchard, half court, it's in the air.
Go!
He got it! He did it again! Peyton Pritchard did it again!
And by your New England Ford dealers, Wendy's, Clinton Savings Bank, Blue Sky Restoration Contractors, and by your Boston area Lexus dealers.
Confetti guns shooting green and white confetti and making the most beautiful blizzard you have ever seen. The Boston Celtics are world champions for the 18th time.
Now, here's Sean Granty and Cedric Maxwell.
Back at the Garden, where a wild week of travel and games has arrived at its centerpiece as the suddenly red-hot Celtics return home to welcome their iconic longtime rival, the Los Angeles Lakers. Thanks for checking back in on a Boston-LA night at the Garden. Fresh to them all, even this one. I'm Sean Grady. Cedric Maxwell, who knows just a smidge about the history, joins us shortly for our 61st Celtics-Lakers game together. Coming up on the fastest 30 minutes in the NBA, this Celtic-Laker edition of Shaw's and Star Market Celtics Tonight. It was going to have a big game feel anyway, Celtics and Lakers, but who could have imagined, given the ramp of the schedule, Celtics would enter having won 8 of 10, now closer to the top of the East than the lottery. And, of course, they will get Jaylen Brown back. But the news of the day is who is not playing in this game tonight, and it might become a flashpoint in the load management fans fighting back against who is and who is not here. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Marcus Smart. The three players fans paid to see tonight will not play for the Lakers. We'll jump into all of it as we break down this first meeting with them, such as it is. You know the story. Last night in Toronto, LeBron James' nearly 19-year-old streak of scoring at least 10 a game came to an end in dramatic fashion. But are we getting closer to LeBron's NBA end in dramatic fashion? That one of many subplots, as always, for a Laker team that has won clutch game after clutch game this year, giving them the league's third-best record, but not the statistical profile to match. We'll explore that. We'll take our trip around the NBA, which got very, very interesting last night in Philadelphia.
Tyrese Maxey to win the game. And it goes! DeAnthony Melton blocks! And the Sixers win it in South Philly!
We'll check in with the head coach, Joe Mazzulla.
They have an understanding of it's bigger than basketball, when it comes to, obviously there's the competitive level, but then there's the fans coming to watch you play, the responsibility that you have to people, the platform that you have.
But coming up next, Celtics took the floor last night for the first time this year without their leader, no Jaylen Brown, as they tried to snap Washington's 2-game home win streak. They snapped the streak. A bunch of records, and maybe the Wizards themselves in the process. We'll look back 24 hours to an all-time Boston bludgeoning.
Finds Jordan Walsh, attacks the paint, elevates, two-hand slam. He's made 14 in a row, and the Celtics lead by 17.
Man, he is just carving these dudes apart.
Shattering his career high, 22 for Jordan Walsh.
It's all coming up and more as we catch you down in the latest chapter. 3 of the magical words in sport, Celtics and Lakers. It's top of the hour on the BetMGM 98.5, the Sports Hub Celtics Radio Network.
Hey, it's Big Jim. Are you stuck in traffic going to the game? Next time, do what I do. Just take the train to North Station. With Commuter Rail, kids 11 and under always ride free. And if the game's on a weekend, you ride with $10 weekends. So next game, don't be late battling traffic and parking. Ugh. Get tickets with the M-Ticket app and take the train straight to the game.
Driving in a Honda Wonderland.
It's that time of year again. Happy Honda Days, where you can drive in a Honda Wonderland of your own with a great offer on a rugged new Passport, Pilot, or Ridgeline. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2026 Passport, a 4.49% APR on a 2025 Pilot, or a 3.99% APR on a 2026 Ridgeline.
See dealer for financing details. Amica Insurance knows. You build your life piece by piece through all the moments, both big and small. For generations, Amica's been providing world-class service across auto, home, and life insurance. So when it comes to protecting what you've built, who are you going to trust? Amica Insurance, proud sponsor of the Boston Celtics.
Hey Boston, we all know this city works hard. From the Seaport to Kendall Square, innovation moves fast here. So Boston companies need financial tools built for speed and control. That's where Brex comes in. Brex is the official corporate card of the Boston Celtics, but it's even more than that. Brex built an intelligent finance platform that uses AI agents to take manual finance tasks off your plate. Things like issuing cards to new hires, filling out expense reports, and enforcing your expense policy are all automated. Over 30,000 companies already run on Brex. Yours could too. Learn more at Brex.com.
Hi, it's Jason Todd from Blue Sky Restoration. All basketball season, Blue Sky is restoring historic garden moments on the parquet. Tune into tonight's game on the Celtics Radio Network to hear this date in history, restored by Blue Sky. And remember, if you have a property disaster, visit goblusky.com. Restoring your property and your life for a brighter tomorrow.
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
Something I've dealt with my whole life. I'd like to say I've gotten a lot better at that. So who knows how bad I was when I was a kid. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge. You have to get high expectations for yourself, and you want to reach those. Just a constant reassurance of it's just basketball. There's ups and downs, and you got to kind of work your way through that.
Derek White getting his confidence back. Important. Welcome back to Shaw's Star Market Celtics tonight. We know it's the Celtics and the Lakers. We're going to get into all of it. Obviously, the Celtics coming off a monster win last night. And I'm jumping right into the start. Listen, Jaylen Brown is going to play. I think we kind of knew that. I think all of our thoughts and prayers about Jaylen getting over this illness just in time for this Laker game tonight. Remarkably, it all, fingers crossed, it all worked out well. And Jaylen's going to play. Celtics will be completely healthy, obviously, without Jason Tatum. But I think the news that was sort of inevitable started trickling in throughout the course of the day. Luka Doncic will not play. LeBron James will not play. Marcus Smart will not play. And here we are with the Celtics-Lakers game, nationally televised, an Amazon Prime game. And we're sort of left with this half-empty feeling about what should have been a pretty special night.
I mean, didn't the Lakers beat the Celtics a couple of years ago without LeBron, without Anthony, with
Yes.
I think it was, So I don't put anything in Austin Reeves, the way he goes crazy. You better guard that boy.
Particularly without Luka. He's played 4 games this year without Luka, and the numbers are he's averaging nearly 40 points a game, 10 assists a game, and getting to the free throw line 16 times a game in those 4. And obviously the Celtics watched as the Lakers won in Toronto last night. LeBron James making the play that I think Stephen A. Smith today called it one of the greatest plays in basketball history, giving up the streak to pass out to Rui Hachimura to hit the game-winning three.
No. And the only reason I say that is because let's just not get carried away. What streak is it? It's a streak that goes for what? No, I mean, I think it's great what he did, but when you're talking about breaking the streak because you didn't score double figures, that to me is absurd.
For perspective, you'll love this because you'll remember the exact 99 times out of 100, I say half-kiddingly. Max, you remember the night this particular thing happened? And, of course, you say, why would I remember that? This you're going to remember. Because LeBron James hit a shot from three-quarters court. You remember because your son was sitting next to you in a LeBron jersey in 2007. The night after that, he did not score 10 points against Milwaukee. The game after that is when this streak began, an 18-and-a-half-year streak that ended last night. That began the game after Boston, and it ended the game before he was supposed to come to Boston.
The crazy thing about that is, my son did that. Madison Maxwell came to a game and had a LeBron James jersey on. And I got the pleasure of actually taking him on the court to meet LeBron, and he was just giddy.
We were sitting courtside, but that was back in the olden days when you were right there. So the camera goes by and you see, hey, there's Grandy, there's Max, and hey, who's that kid wearing a LeBron jersey that's sitting next to them as LeBron was playing against the Celtics? All right. We'll get into the Celtics-Lakers matchup, what it looks like now. Obviously, with Austin Reeves, Jake LaRavia is going to start for the Lakers in this game. Vincent, who started last night with Luka out. Luka attending the birth of his child back home in Slovenia, which is kind of crazy. But they're talking about him coming back. He may very well play. So will LeBron probably in the Sunday afternoon game. They're going to play in Philadelphia, the 3rd game of this road trip. But before we look ahead to that game tonight, let's look back to last night because it's going to take us about a half an hour just to go through all the records the Celtics set last night in Washington.
Unusual uniform look tonight. Celtics who wear the alternate black jerseys, green numbers, white letters. They will go left to right. The Wizards turning back the clock, going to the Gilbert Arenas gold uniforms with black trim, white letters, and numbers. They will go right to left. Cato wins the opening tip for Marvin Bagley. And away we go. Thanks for finding us.
Want a jump ball?
On a Thursday night. He did. 6-4 Boston by 2. Hauser pull up in transition. Deep 3 is good.
Remember the set building that he went absolutely berserk in.
St. Patrick's Day a couple of years ago, and he had to leave the game. Remember, he had made 10 threes in the third quarter. Walsh, great poke away from C.J. McCollum at half court. Goes the distance. 2-hand slam. Timeout, Brian Keefe. Simon's going to attack the baseline. Draws 2 men. Throws to the far corner. Minot up fakes. Now takes a contested 3 and knocks it down. I'm not sure I've ever seen a guy whose shot looked uglier knocked down more efficiently.
Yeah, and, just really follows the shot in.
Riley down the right side, bumps into Shireman. Jordan Walsh chases him down, another block. Simons picks it up off the floor. Simons spinning, and he'll bring it back out, finds the trailer. Jordan Walsh is going to attack, elevate, scoop, score, and the foul. How about that defense to offense for Jordan Walsh?
Great play, transitioning one way. He was hunting that play, almost like LeBron.
Pritchard dances backwards away from George. Minot swings in the corner. Jordan Walsh doesn't want the 3. Return to Minot. He'll launch over Middleton and knock it down. So the last 3 threes for Minot. Right down the middle from the corner. Side of the backboard. And now right down the middle again. Boston by 4. Derek White getting dogged by Carrington. Shot clock at 10. Steps to his right. He's got a pretty good look at a 3, and he knocks it down.
The defender just backed away from the three-point shooter.
15 for Derek White. Derek White return to Jordan Walsh. Blows by McCollum. Flies through the air. Cuffs it in his right hand. And says, if you don't know, now you know. I'm Jordan Walsh.
Oh, that was vicious. And you're going to be
13 consecutive makes for Jordan Walsh now. Finds Jordan Walsh. Attacks the paint. Elevates. 2-hand slam. He's made 14 in a row. And the Celtics lead by 17.
Man, he is just carving these these dudes apart.
Shattering his career high, 22 for Jordan Walsh. Pritchard into the front court, switches to the right hand. Pritchard coming downhill, floats it up and in, off the window to beat the buzzer. Exactly what everybody in the building knew was about to happen.
Well, Washington didn't know it. They did not know. Wow, what a surprise.
Simon steps to his left, all the way through, and that's good.
He's unconscious, man. That dude called the sheriff, somebody.
And he's earned this with the 3 quarters he played, with the floor game and the defense. He's earned these threes. Shireman, the right side of the floor, puts back in the hands of Harper. Return to Shireman. They want Harper to shoot. Instead, it goes left side. Hugo Gonzalez for 3. Swish.
Maybe.
Celtics are going to do this thing. This is going to be the greatest offensive game in franchise history. 144-99. The Celtics come to Washington, D.C. without Mr. Brown, and they leave with an historic offensive display. Clock hits triple zeros, and it goes in the books as one for the books. The Celtics go 4 games over 500 with LeBron coming to town. The final score, Boston 146, Washington 101. It was the 4th time in the last 25 years that the Celtics won a road game by 45 points. They did it in Sacramento in 2008. They did it the record win in Chicago in 2018. Of course, the Philadelphia game when they set the record for most threes in February of 22. I'm not going to do this for the next hour. You could do it with that game the Celtics had last night. You can just run through record after record after record. It ended up as the number 2 offensive game in Celtics history, behind the game in Sacramento right before Christmas a couple of years ago. The Derek White numbers, that's why we started with Derek White, became the 6th player in NBA history to go 37-9 in under 30 minutes. Luka's done it twice. Giannis has done it twice. LeBron, James Harden, Cole Anthony did it last year. And, of course, Derek White became the 6th last night. And here we are expecting all of the numbers, all these things I was hauling out last night on the plane, all these graphics as we were flying back through the bumpy skies last night. I didn't think I'd be pulling these numbers out is kind of the point this year about total.